Cenat.
Cenat. Sean Diddy Combs.
Sean Diddy Combs.
Cenat.
Cenat.
Sean Diddy Combs.
Sean Diddy Combs.
Cenat.
Cenat.
Sean Diddy Combs.
Cenat.
Sean Diddy.
What if I told you Cenat's rise to the top isn't as straightforward as it seems? And what if I suggested that Cenat might actually be Diddy's son? You'd probably call me crazy, right? More than ever, the gap between Hollywood and reality is blurring by the day. It's no longer as simple as observing the differences between social media fame and the vast industry of Hollywood like it was 10 to 15 years ago. Influencers are no longer just streaming to thousands in their bedrooms. They're becoming celebrities, streaming to hundreds of thousands and influencing a whole new generation. Your favorite influencers are often backed, advised, and managed by some of the most experienced minds of Hollywood and of the entertainment business. And while the traditional Hollywood industry is facing challenges, many of its power players are pivoting. Why let a legacy fade away when you can shape and be a part of the new wave of fame? So why bring this up in the context of Cenat? It's no secret that Kai is arguably the biggest streamer today, and that's not up for a debate. His influence has propelled streaming from a niche hobby to mainstream success. But behind the viral clips, the laughs, and the seemingly spontaneous antics, I can't help but feel that there's more to him and his come up. Cenat was born December 16, 2001, in New York City. He was raised by his mother in Brooklyn, and not so much about his real father is known, but I'll get more into that later on. Now here's where it gets interesting. Who happened to be in New York City about 9 months before Kai's birth? None other than Mr. Sean Combs, known to most as P. Diddy. At the time, Combs was facing a trial in New York for firing a gun inside a Manhattan nightclub. He appeared in court February of 2001, but was acquitted of his charges. That's beside the point here. We know Diddy gets around. His whole persona is being a playboy, a pimp, who no doubt about it would host parties everywhere he goes and get with as many women as possible. And it wouldn't be too out there to say he could have ended up with Kai's mother. And then 9 months later, Kai was born? I don't know. Seems off to me, but maybe it's just a coincidence. Or maybe there's a deeper story at play. The physical resemblance between Kai and Diddy is uncanny. Sure, you could argue that lookalikes are common, but this? Like, here are a few examples. Just take a look. I mean, come on, maybe I'm reaching a little, but I couldn't make this video without mentioning the similarities between the two. Cenat recently started his second Mafiathon. The house that Kai ended up streaming from is conveniently the house that just so happens to be next to Diddy's Los Angeles mansion. The very same mansion that was just raided recently in connection to the major investigations involving Mr. Combs. And as if that isn't as intriguing enough, the mansion was recently in talks to be bought by Jennifer Lopez, who dated Diddy during the 2000s. I mean, like, why would anyone want to move in next to their ex? It's kinda psychotic. It seems like there's something going on with that house. Something that is being hidden, and something that Cenat and J-Lo want to keep hidden. Now also, the start of the Mafiathon included Cenat starting the stream dressed in all white head to toe, presenting to a crowd also dressed in all white. Not long after, Lil Uzi Vert appeared and you guessed it, all white. Why all white? It's eerily reminiscent of Diddy's iconic all-white parties, legendary for their exclusivity and high-profile figures that they attracted, and also the countless allegations and mystery around these parties. Like, this is some serious shit that could lead to the downfall of hundreds of celebrities and influential figures, and Kai is subtly making a nod to this, and he's doing so in a mega mansion right next door to Diddy's home, in the midst of all the controversy surrounding Diddy right now. Father's Day stream. This moment, branded as the first time Kai met his father, raised more questions than it answered. It felt off, as if we were watching a scene play out, not an organic, emotional reunion. The interaction seemed somewhat rehearsed, and the father figure didn't quite match the gravity of such a pivotal moment in someone's life. And that's when it hits. Could this just be another chapter in the sprawling narrative Kai has created for his audience? Another clue left to keep his viewers guessing. If there's any truth to the speculation about Diddy being connected to Kai, it would explain a lot. His sudden and rapid rise, his connections to the industry, and his massive network, and the magnetic way he seems to command attention, and his access to resources that most could only dream of. If Kai Cenat indeed has connections through Diddy, it changes the entire game. It underscores the idea that behind viral clips and impromptu antics lies a well-constructed bridge between old Hollywood and the new digital stardom. Hollywood may be shifting, but it doesn't intend to vanish. And Kai Cenat could be one of the most fascinating examples of how the old generation might just be influencing this new world of online influencers. I also wanted to show a couple clips where Kai seems to be aware of everything. This one shows him realizing Diddy follows him on Instagram. He then kinda overreacts in a way which does seem somewhat honest.
I've been to a Diddy party. I don't follow this nigga. Wait, this nigga trying to recruit? Oh, hell nah!
But again, I can't help but feel the lack of authenticity if the connection between the two is real. It's like he's dropping hints, he's dropping Easter eggs, kinda like what you'd expect out of a TV show. Something out of iCarly. Something that Kai's been compared to a lot. And I think it's more like reality than just a comparison. More recently, during his Mafiathon, he's told about the fact that this mega mansion in LA is located next door to the infamous Diddy mansion.
Back in March, according to TMZ, Combs is looking to sell.
Again, he acts surprised and oblivious to it all. But like, seriously, how would that not be brought up in conversation before deciding to go through with using it as a location for one of the biggest streaming events of all time, in the midst of all the Diddy chaos? To me, it really seems like it's playing out as a constant subtle reminder of who controls everything in the industry by the people at the top. Another one is where Kai is sleeping. He's got the Miles Morales NPC TikToker on his stream. You're probably familiar with him. And he's doing this to entertain the chat while he's sleeping. He then does this whole baby oil act and says, "You gotta get diddied up." I'll show the clip here for context.
Who looks like you gotta get diddied up?
Yo! Stop!
Thanks to the 50 gifted sub, Michael.
And maybe this one is as straightforward as a simple joke, but with all the circumstances surrounding it and Kai being in the spotlight, it's flat out crazy. And not to forget, he's literally next to the mansion that got raided, and then they found like over 1,000 bottles of baby oil or whatever. I think that what we can all take from this, despite if there's truly any connection between Diddy and Kai Cenat, is that this isn't entertainment business, Hollywood or social media. It's all blurred nowadays. These big budget streams are just the new forms of media consumed by the masses, controlled less, but still by design. I still agree that streaming is a new wave and way more authentic than any forms of media in the past. But let's not forget that even in a world that prides itself on being raw and unscripted, there are still architects behind the scenes, one of which is still backed by the greatest minds in marketing and entertainment. Thanks for watching. Stay curious.